Welcome to River Park's Art Groove Gallery's 2021 Spring Forward Virtual Art Exhibit. I am your host, Melanie Glass, founder of B AWESUM. B AWESUM provides creative space for visual and performance artists and creatives. We give them an opportunity to share their work, gifts, and talents. We also give our virtual and Fresno, California communities a chance to view and experience art in a variety of mediums and forms in an uplifting, safe, and friendly environment.
Hi, Melanie. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Ayana Williams at Blue City Cultural Center, and I'm so happy to be here with you. We at Blue City Cultural Center are housed in Memphis, Tennessee, and we believe in the arts. We're a performing arts organization that uses the arts to empower, enlighten, and transform lives. Now, are we ready to get started on this virtual tour?
I believe we are.
And I keep saying tour, you know what I mean. This is an art tour or art gallery. I can't wait.
Hell, you couldn't watch too.
As we review the past and look to the future, there are people that we need to remember. As co-founder of Blue City Cultural Center with my husband, Levi Frazier, there was a third person who made our theater company complete, and that was poet Akiba Shabazz. So we are using her work tonight as we celebrate April Poetry Month. In 1986, she published a book of poetry called Other Woman Poems. Poet Etheridge Knight wrote this foreword. Akiba is a poet storyteller whose words come to us out of a tradition that goes all the way back to African griot via Memphis and Mississippi. She is an honest, brave, and upright woman who makes for an honest, brave, and upright poet. She is a chanter, an enchanter, a singer, a seer. And so as we move to the future, there are memories that we have. Tonight, I'm going to recite 4 of her poems, but I want to start with 2 right now. One is so much fun. It's called Getting Even. Whoever you are, and you know who you are, I hope your mama forgets your name, address, and telephone number. I hope you get a witch doctor with a pair of rusty pliers for a dentist. I hope the KKK holds elections in your kitchen. Dent my car door in a shopping center parking lot and disappear. Oh, I hope you get run over by a train with rabies. Now, after we finish that, she goes on to a little bit more serious side about herself and becoming who she became. It's called From My Past. So many layers of yesterday to peel away before I reach the beginnings of me. Like the artichoke, each layer I peel away. So many layers of yesterday to find some of my whole self, to peel away before I reach the beginning of me. Thank you.
Be AWESUM. Our mission is to provide a creative space where individuals have an opportunity to positively explore art through seeing it and participating in art classes and community-driven art projects. We also want to give all artists an opportunity to share and discuss their work, sell it, and challenge them to step out of their comfort zone and try something new. If you'd like to participate, please contact us at beawesome.com. Hi again. I am Melanie Glass. I'm not only your host, but I'm also an artist. Today, I'd like to share 3 of pieces that I feel are appropriate for spring. The first is Letting Go in the Spring. No Woman, No Cry is, you can see it in the corner. This was done, I was in Jamaica, and it was the last day of our visit. And I just thought it was a release of everything we had gone through to get there and had such fun. But that piece is, to me, just of letting go and looking on and beyond to the future. The next piece is a piece that I did in San Antonio, Texas. It should be coming up shortly, and it is called Feeling San Antonio. It's kind of done, it'll be up in a moment, but it'll be beautiful colors of vibrant pink and blues. It showcases the sky. And there it is, Feeling San Antonio. It was a wonderful, blissful time while I was there, and I just wanted to capture it. The next piece is one of my favorite pieces. It's Bright, Bold, Beautiful Bouquet. And that is dear to me because I did this piece and I was inspired by a residence program I did in Memphis, Tennessee, where I learned how to use paper mache. And this is, to me, bright, colorful. The flowers come out at you, and it's just a positive, uplifting piece that I did. And I hope you enjoy it. Up next, Reitan, visual artist.
My artwork tends to be eclectic. I've created what I call poem paintings that are represented as poetry on a watercolor paper. The uniqueness of each of these different styles that I use might be construed as non-committal indecisiveness, but I prefer to understand it as versatility. The fact is that I do a wide variety of different kinds of work, but poem paintings are my favorite. The first poem we're looking at is called The Fall of Mary. You can probably zoom in on that a bit and see it more clearly. The second poem is You as Envisioned on a Sunday Afternoon, one of my most romantic poems, I think. And lastly, I have Somehow Radiance. Somehow Radiance is a good poem. In any case, I'll read it to you. Somehow Radiance. Somehow a moment of spring will come, easing a glimmer of radiance this barren cloud day. Someday the trees will be more than shadows, catatonic and bare, their skeletal fingers grasping resistance defeat on winter's mute end. Somewhere out of the opaque lies the stars, the mild evening, glinting secrets and knowing their light, as the moon, like a somber eye, will glow within its silence. And when we practice distancing, we know we're not alone. Love and hope and empathy can be found at home. So a good poem for spring, and a good spring.
Hi, everyone. My name is Monika Griffin, and The Bittersweet Struggles is my first book, but certainly not my last. This story is about a woman whose mother has passed away, but she still has unresolved issues with her, and her emotions begin to spill out in different ways when she returns home to plan her mother's funeral. So now I'm going to read an excerpt from my book, and this is from the day of the funeral. My sister walked through my bedroom door because she needed assistance with her zipper on her dress. She didn't say anything. She just walked in and turned around. After I helped her with her dress, She turned toward me and looked me up and down. I began to look at myself in the mirror. Was there a problem with my dress? What's wrong? Is something wrong with my dress? It's kind of short for a funeral, isn't it? She said with examining my outfit once again. I'm not the one in the casket, I said sarcastically. She looked at me again, shook her head, and walked away. As I was in front of the mirror putting on the finishing touches, I noticed my mother's jewelry on her dresser. I looked through her box to see if she still had the vintage cameo earrings with the matching necklace. While I was looking for them, I heard another warning call from my brother. Morgan, Jeanette, let's go. The limos are coming. They'll be here shortly. I continued to rifle through her jewelry, determined to find this set. I remember falling in love with this set when I was a little girl. It was an ivory cameo maroon with a maroon background. I'm not sure why I liked it so much, but it was different from all of her other pieces, and I was drawn to it immediately. Found it, I whispered. I started to put the earrings on and tried to hold back the tears because I didn't want my makeup to smear. What the hell is wrong with me? Why do I keep crying? I said, reprimanding myself. I was sensitive as a child, and my sister and my brother constantly called me a crybaby or claimed that I wanted attention. So I learned to fight back the tears and hold back my emotions throughout the years. Today, I wasn't so successful. I guess it was one of those times where my tears were validated. Are you ready? My sister said as she peeked in my room. Yes, you can put this can you put this necklace on for me? Jeanette walked over to put the necklace on, and the tears were still falling down my face. Like I said before, we were not a family that dealt with emotions. So after she put the necklace on, she turned around and walked out the room without a word. Now, do I have any questions from the audience regarding the book or the excerpt that I just wrote?
Has writing this book made you a better person?
Oh, that's a good question. A better person. I think that I am more aware of my reactions to things or how I behave. So, yes, I would say that it has made me a better person. I would say that definitely. Thank you. Any more questions?
Yes, I have a question. When exactly did you realize you were done with the book?
Well, I didn't, that's a good question. I didn't know how to end the book because, you know, in my mind, Morgan's life is not over. So, so I remember reading a book by James Baldwin called If Beale Street Could Talk. And at the end of the book, and I hope this is not a spoiler alert, but at the end of the book, there was no real ending. There was no resolve. And so right away, I was just like, okay, I don't have to end it. I can just like leave it hanging and continue at any time in the future. Thank you. Thank you for your questions, Karima and Justine.
Art does not reproduce what we see, it makes us see, by Paul Klee.
Hi, everybody. I'm Elysia Patrick, a local artist out of Fresno. And today you guys are going to be viewing 3 pieces from my anxiety series. This first piece you're about to see is called Inflamed. So recently I was diagnosed with hepatitis and I actually painted it the day after I found out. This is to channel all the emotion and the physical pain I was experiencing during that time. The next piece in this series is called United States of Anxiety. So the day after the Capitol was attacked, I wanted to paint how I was feeling. And I felt like I was really drowning in my own thoughts and struggling to process it. And so that's what this piece is. And the last piece is called Overwhelmed. So I wanted to convey how anxiety feels in general. And to me, in my mind, this is me getting anxiety onto a canvas. It's really struggling to communicate these overwhelming thoughts. And sometimes a lot of people don't understand what you're going through. And this, to me, conveys that.
Hi, everyone. I'm T, and I co-host a podcast with Monika called Everyone Has a Story. People need stories. Stories of love, hope, survival, wisdom, sometimes even pain. Every story is worth telling, but more than that, it's worth living. Join us as we interview fascinating individuals whose stories teach us why life is worth living. Our first guest is Melanie Glass. She's also the co-host of this lovely platform we have here, and her story is very inspiring, and it takes us on her journey of her life through her artwork. You can listen to us on all major streaming platforms. And oh, by the way, if you have a story to tell, okay, we have the answer. Join us and reach out to us at designingculture.com.
The last two poems that I'm going to read will deal with the other woman. This one is called Say and Do. Marry me for my birthday, you say. I need you. I have to go, you say. I promise to take my wife to visit her mother, you say. I can't live without you, you say. But you do. And the last poem, which is my favorite poem, is called Tuesday Poem. Tuesday was your day off, so I called in sick because I wanted to be with you. We breakfasted on squares of PTA, world's finest chocolate and chamomile tea. And I laughed because your mustache curled when you laughed. And no, you are not an ordinary man. And yes, I do support revolution. And no, you do not bore me with your quietness. And yes, I do mention my mother a lot. And no, your mustache does not tickle. And yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and soon I do not know where you end and I begin. It is that fitting and fluid, a Tuesday. I close my eyes and breathe you. And even with my eyes closed, I can see that this day is cause for celebration.
Well, we've read and heard wonderful, uplifting poems, saw expressive abstract artwork, releasing anxiety, being resilient, and bold, bright, colorful days. We see they return. We listened to an author's words about relationship struggles, and we were given an opportunity to share our own story through a dynamic new podcast series. This is just awesome. Well, now we are in this Spring Forward art exhibit. And when we think of spring, we think of words like spring cleaning, spring break, spring forward. And so now with moving on, let's try to do it in a positive way, which we've done today, but we're going to do an activity and I'd like for the audience and our special guests to participate. What I'd like you to do is please think of a positive word you would like to release in hopes that someone may hear your word and start to move forward. We are going to start, me and my guests are going to start by telling you or sharing our word with you, but you can participate in this by sharing your thoughts and your word in the comment section after the video. So let's get started. Guests, would you please release your word?
Love.
Woke.
Radiance.
Success.
Unveiling.
Serenity.
Respect.
Peace.
And mine is Be Awesome. River Park's Art Group Gallery not only is doing a virtual exhibit, we also have art in the window at our physical address. address, which is 7875 North Via del Rio in Fresno, California. If you get a chance, we're featuring 8 artists. The window looks fabulous. It's open, well, it's not open, the gallery's not open yet, but 7 days a week, the windows are visible. And it's a good day to come on Tuesdays because that's when the food trucks are there. They have fantastic food. You can come get something to eat and look at the windows. I do want to say that we in California are lifting all of our restrictions in June 16th. So we are planning a reopening celebration. To find out more about that, please look us up at BAWESUM.com if you would like to participate. And now this concludes our Spring Forward exhibit. I'd like to thank all of our special guests, Deborah Frazier, Ayana Williams with Blue City Cultural Center, the wonderful author Monika Griffin, artist Ann Reitan, Elysia Patrick, T. Osborne, and Monika for sharing the podcast information, and Ashley Wilburn, who is B AWESUM's CEO, and I can't do things without her. So thank you so much, everyone, for participating.
And Melanie, before you leave, one last thing. Remember this, you can always donate. We need your support, volunteers, and always a little cash to support our artists. Thank you so much. Let's groove while we're going out.
Sounds good.